the Mike Westbrook Memorial for the Knoxville National. They're lean, they're mean, they're 700 horses, a man and machine. They're full wide, green flag, showtime in Knoxville. Nationals are green.
Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the there we go. Welcome there to the Coast to Coast Thursday Night Thunder. We get ready to rock and roll. You see them still practicing here, but we've got a few moments before they go to qualify. We'll take that time, though, to bring you up to speed on tonight's points. This is your 358 modified standings. And as you can see there as we head into tonight, our small block modified series, we've got Sam Bachman leading it right now with Trevor Guru there second, Anthony Morano third. We got 604 points there for Sam Bachman, Trevor Guru there in second, Anthony Morano third with 562, Kelly Wheeler in fourth with 522, Mike Brewer with 498. So we will have to see how this comes out. Brandon Templeton's right now your quickest one on the track with a 13.169. Trevor Guru, second in points, is second right now on the speedway. Four points behind coming into tonight. And is sitting there with a 13.108. So it'll be interesting to see exactly how this plays out tonight as this goes forward. So I hope everybody's ready for some great action here from Cedar Lake. And get situated and down that backstretch to go. There you see in that 31, Brandon Templeton there. Up across the top side of the racetrack. In that number 31, ends up getting in the back of the 51 of Clay Christopherson. Christopherson going around, going to bring it back down there onto the bottom side of the speedway along with Templeton. Trevor Guru now up there in that 75, and I will admit I kind of took my car out here tonight a little bit here before the race, before the broadcast rather, and kind of took me a few laps and kind of learned a little bit from my standpoint on kind of where I think I would want to run, but I don't want to divulge too much over the airwaves, just in case somebody wants to try, or we'll let the competitors figure it out. But I mean, great run so far here for these drivers. We'll see how this track develops as the night goes on. As always, if you're watching on the Coast to Coast Racing Network, go ahead and click subscribe to catch all the latest and greatest Coast to Coast Racing League action. All right, qualifying's getting ready to get underway here from Cedar Lake. Who's excited for this one? See here, we got Trevor Guru coming out on track along with Brandon Templeton and Anthony Morano. They're all getting in the staging area to try to get up here. Trying to find the best camera angle here. We got them coming off of turn 4. Turn 1 and 2 is where the pits are here at Cedar Lake. Coming there off of 2 down that backstretch. And, hang on to it there, Guru. You don't want to hit them tires. Them tires might not be your friend down there on the inside. So you're going to worry about them tires down there along the low side. Worry about the wall up along the top side. Randall Dixon right now out there in that 011. He's currently your fastest with a 13.83, or 8.63, sorry. Glenn Sharp out there in the 99. Sitting third now with a 13.960. Brian Dickens with a 13.893, putting him in the second place. These times are still rolling in here. Jeff Barker in the 5.13. He's going to be there in 8th position with a 13.986. Sam Bachman comes out and he lays it down with a 13.788. Now, I know some of you are probably wondering, well, what happened to them lap times they were running in practice? Well, the track's what happened. As they run on it, the more slick the track becomes as the moisture goes out of the track, as the track dries up. As the track dries up, the rubber gets laid, and they will end up gaining or losing some speed rather, as the grip kind of goes away off of the dirt and clay surfaces on dirt track racing. Kurt Satcher getting in here. Not sure if he'll make it for qualifying, as he will not. Time has expired. All right, Heat 1. Brought to you by Gambler Motorsports. Gambler Motorsports is an esports racing team that competes weekly across the iRacing platform. The team has drivers entered into dirt races, sports cars, asphalt oval, and they even compete in endurance races. Give them a like on Facebook to follow them. So your starting grid here for heat number 1. It's going to be Dean Reynolds out in front. Joseph Grandi on outside of row number 1. Brian Dickens inside row number 2. And third with Sam Bachman to his outside. Kelly Wheeler will start 5th. Brian Moore there in 6th. As they get set here. 7th place is going to be starting John Dubai. Brandon Templeton there in 8th. Scott Riome in 9th. And Kurt Schaxer in 10th. That is heat number 1. I don't see that we've got Kurt Schaxer out there yet. Barney's there in the flag booth, just waiting. Kind of cool the detail that you might catch here on iRacing as I look here to our but look here at that flag booth stand. I did see that it had Goodyear real faintly across the top of it, so it's always interesting the detail you can see. Here as we roll off a corner number 4 out here. Pace car is going to try to get a hold of the track, try to speed away next time by. Looks like Kurt Schaxer did not make the grid. Kurt Schaxer is in the pits right now. Coming here off the back stretch, pace car dips down. It's going to take a speed there, try to get out of the way before these drivers take the green flag. Here we go, green flag in the air. Barney waves it down here in the corner number 1 to go. Side by side, Dean Reynolds down there on the inside. The 518 and Joseph Grandi out there on the outside as they come down here in the corner number 1 and 2. Look how close they are as they battle it out through off onto the front stretch once again. You got that 122 of Brian Dickens down there on the inside. Sam Bachman stuck there in the middle. Dean Reynolds up there on the high side now as they roll here through off of corner number 1 and 2 once again. Everybody fighting for position anywhere they can grab it as they start the single file out. Look out, Dickens there trying to fight for his track position as he squeezes up in front of the 55 of Brian Moore as they head on down through off of turn number 3 and 4 out here into corner number 1 and 2 once again. There goes Dean Reynolds back down there to the inside trying to get below. I'm sorry, no, that's Sam Bachman getting below Dean Reynolds down there. Sorry, I'm getting my tongue tied already. It's like it's on here. We got 4 to go here in heat number 1. And you got Reynolds down there on the inside. Up there in front, it's Joseph Grandi. You got Sam Bachman there in 3rd. Brian Dickens there in 4th. As Brian Moore is there in 5th right now as it stands. As everybody's rolling around here trying to keep everything going where they can. Looking great, looking good. Everything looks there. Sorry if you were in the Racing League's Discord. I was live. I just apparently was in the wrong Discord. So, all right, we're all set that way now as we go here in through turns 1 and 2 once again. Oh, I'm sorry, no, here, white flag in the air. Barney's got it in the air. Joseph Grundy out there in front. Dean Reynolds there second. Last time by off of the corner. Down here in the corner number 1. Down there to the inside goes Dean. Yeah, Sam Bachman going underneath Dean Reynolds. Cannot quite get there. They come off of turn number 4. Joseph Grundy will get the win here. And, whoa, take a shot there to the pit road as others end up going and taking a tumble over that turn 1 wall. We'll go ahead and get looking here at the point or the results. Results coming in here for the 358 division. Joseph Grundy there in first. Dean Reynolds there second. Sam Bachman third. Brian Dickens fourth. Brian Moore there fifth. Templeton in sixth. Wheeler in seventh. Scott Rioman eighth. John Dubai finishes ninth. And Kurt Schatzer there in 10th. All right, on to the grid here for heat number 2. We got Trevor Garou out front on pole. Glenn Sharp in second. Anthony Morano will start inside row number 2 and third, with Randall Dixon at his outside. Jeff Barker in 5th. Clay Christopherson 6th. Hiram Klump there in 7th. Bob the Good 8th. And Barry Wallace there in 9th. Heat number 2 getting underway. Heat number 2 brought to you by Regency Home Inspections. Regency Home Inspections is the leading provider of residential home inspection services in New York's northern Hudson Valley region. With a focus on precision, expertise, and customer satisfaction, Regency Home Inspections offers comprehensive inspections and informal reviews to help clients make informed decisions about their property. All right, getting here out of turn number 2, coming down that back stretch. Have it work down here in the corner, number 1 and 2. Coming there off, or I'm sorry, 3 and 4 now, as Anthony Morano's working that inside lane, trying to get that car to get up there. And that's a tough spot coming through 1 and 2. As they saw that car take a pretty good bounce, and you see that inside now getting worked in here, the rubber getting laid down here. They come now into turn number 1. Get a little bit of hop out of the 75 of Trevor Garou. Trevor Garou, remember, is second in points coming into the night. 4 points back from the lead. Anthony Morano down there on the inside. He's a little farther back as they come here off of turn number 4. Down here in the corner number 1 once again. Up here inside. 5 to go as they come down into corner number 3. Anthony Morano getting a little into the outside wall here as they head on down out of turn number 4. Back across the stripe. Here we go. Down in the corner number 1 again. Anthony Morano up there toward the top side. Glenn Sharp there in the middle. As you got the 513 Barker down there on the inside. There's the 011 of Randall Dixon as he's working that high line now, coming there out of turn number 4 once again. Quick laps here at Cedar Lake as they come here out of turn number 2. Down that back stretch, Anthony Morano just trying to find any piece of dirt that he can try to help him gain a little bit of traction as he's trying to find that moisture anywhere he can out there. Trevor Garou doing a great job out there in front. Glenn Sharp there in third right now, down there on the inside as they work here off of turn number 2, down here into 3 and 4. 51 there of Clay Christopherson trying to keep it out of the back of the 513 of Jeff Barker. And they head on down through turns number 1 and 2 for the final time here in heat number 2. Anthony Morano there in second, trying to slide it in there. Slides up the racetrack, up into the cushion. Does not have what it takes, and it's going to be Trevor Garou for your heat number 2 victory here this evening. All right, here we go. So your Heat 2 results are here. Trevor Garou out front in first. Anthony Morano second. Glenn Sharp there third. Randall Dixon fourth. Jeff Barker fifth. Clay Christopherson sixth. Harold Club seventh. Bob the Good there in eighth. And Barry Wallace in ninth. That is your Heat number 2 results. We'll be back after a few short messages to finish this one out here with the feature.
These dollars that come together to support us, and we realized no, we didn't want to use them for us. We wanted to use them for others.
The foundation has done so much for so many people. It helps any family that has somebody, whether it be a crew member or one of the drivers, that get hurt. We can help them to get through the situation.
I was injured in a non-wing sprint car accident that broke my neck and left me with a spinal cord injury. In the hospital 8 months. It got really, really expensive, so having that extra help to help push me and my family forward was a big deal.
I was involved in a pretty gnarly sprint car crash. Found out my brain was swelling and bleeding. Pelvic bone was broken. I had 2 cracked vertebrae on my back, and I was in the ICU a little over a week. The Steve King Foundation reached out to my parents. We received a donation from them. Immediately they started me on what's called neurofeedback, and insurance did not cover the neurofeedback appointments. So we received another donation from the Steve King Foundation. It really helped a lot, and I just want to say thank you. Thank you from the bottom of my heart to the Steve King Foundation for everything that they have done for me. This last Sunday, I got to turn laps in my modified here. That was my first laps back in a race car since the accident, and I truly believe that if it wasn't for the Steve King Foundation, I wouldn't be able to do that or be where I'm at today.
Yes, Steve's death is the reason the foundation exists, but it's Steve's life, and it's the lives of racers everywhere is the reason we're able to do the work we do.
All right, good evening, everyone. We're back here at the Speedway. Hopefully everybody's enjoying the racing action here tonight. We get set with our RSN trackside grid of the evening here for the feature of the night. We have Joseph Grande starting off on pole. Trevor Garou there second. Dean Reynolds third. Anthony Morano fourth. Sam Bachman fifth. Glenn Sharp there in sixth. Brian Dickens seventh. Randall Dixon there eighth. Brian Moore ninth. Jeff Barker there in 10th. Brandon Templeton in 11th. Clay Christopherson there in 12th. 13th is going to be starting Kelly Wheeler. Harold Clump in 14th. Scott Rion 15th. Bob the Good there 16th. John Dubai in 17th. Barry Wallace in 18th. Kurt Schatzer in 19th. Why are you guys not seeing the... Oh, boy, oh, boy. It just all of a sudden shut down on me, I see. All right, we'll go and see if we can get it back up here in a moment. Well, your starting grid brought to you by RSN Trackside. Coming out of turn number 4, we're getting ready to go green flag racing. Oh, around. Okay, so coming there out of the corner, caution's already. So we'll take a moment here and see if we can get this to come back on the line. They pace around here under our first caution. Didn't really catch what happened there. And then with the timing and scoring kind of getting a little goofed up. See if we can get it gathered up here. There we go. We're back live now there with it all. Coming back down here out of corner number 2. Joseph Grundy out there front. Trevor Drew there in second up there on the high side. Nothing really changed as they here get out of turn number 4, getting on that loud pedal down here in the corner number 1. A little bit better start that time. Actually, much better start here out of these drivers. They head down here in the corner number 1. Trevor Drew trying to fight for the lead here as they fight down here in the corner number 1. Dean Reynolds down there on the inside. Scott Riome going around and not seeing much going on back here. Caution is out, trying to figure out what happened here. I think it's something there. There it is, Scott Riome. I thought I saw Scott Riome go around there. Bubba Wallace possibly involved. Now here we see it. Scott Riome there in the middle of the racetrack. Coming there out of 4. Ends up getting touched there a little bit. Comes down deep into 1. And turns the 210, and he gets in behind as he goes around there. That'll what's going to bring out your caution as he's stuck down there on the inside of the speedway. Traffic goes on by so quick here. We see them working here off the corner. Lap number 4. Caution laps in dirt track racing do not count. So we technically have 3 laps completed on the books right now. Everybody's doubling back up. Lights are off on the pace car. We're going to be going back green flag racing. Hopefully we can get some laps under our belt this time. Here we go, out of turn number 4. Pace car's not quite off the track yet. Had to make a very tough skedaddle off of there as they fight for position behind them. There you see Dean Reynolds there in second. Trevor Drew there in third now. He has lost position back there. Here comes James Morano down there on the inside. Dean Reynolds, Sam Bachman there in the middle there in the 007. Dean Reynolds, he's in the middle as well. They're trying to find a way to get up there to Joseph Grundy. Joseph Grundy out front. More caution problems back there. 25 laps to go here. Now it looks like John Dubai, Harold Klump, Kelly Wheeler, and Templeton are all involved. As we watch on back here. Coming off the corner down here in the corner number 1 and 2. Oh, the 3 gets into the back of the 2. Sends them up and over. Going to land them back on all 4s. So luckily there. Man, oh man, John Dubai taking a shot there coming into the corner. 25 laps to go, and we take the green flag. Come on, drivers, it can't be all that difficult. It looks like you're going to go a single file restart this time. Coming here off of turn 4, green flags out. Down here in the corner number 1, Joseph Grande getting a great jump there. Coming here off of corner number 2, down the backstretch. Dean Reynolds up to second. Look out, here comes Trevor Carew now. He's back up there in the third. He's going to hit Anthony Morano searching there below him in that fourth spot rather. Sam Bachman's back there as well, down there along the bottom. I don't know how much more is going to be left on the bottom there, as there's still drivers trying to get that dug out there. Joseph Grande's up there against the top cushion. Dean Reynolds there in second, and that's kind of what I was kind of wondering. The only thing I think might help out is if some of these drivers can figure it out, is going top through 1 and 2, and then dropping down to 3, and dropping down, coming out, bringing that bottom line off of 4, so almost running like a cut down in turn 3 and 4. I don't know if that line would work or not, but that's just kind of my feeling on it. But you know, you drive where you're comfortable and where you think you got the grip. As Anthony Morano's making that bottom side, trying to work it. He's down there as he's getting around Trevor Carew, getting up there. Now they're going almost 4 wide there for the lead. 3 wide there, now 2, now 1, and in the corner number 1 to go. Anthony Morano down there on the inside. Grande out there in front. Carew there in 4th. Anthony Morano there in 3rd. Reynolds in 2nd. And as we said before, it's going to be a close points race. And they all head off here. Each driver doing everything they can. Now we look at the points for the big block, or sorry, the small block. Sam Bachman's the leader with Trevor Carew there second. And as you watch him go around the speedway here, Sam Bachman's currently sitting there in 4th, right there behind Trevor Carew. Dean Reynolds there in 2nd, Grande out there in front. Morano's falling back now, back here in the 7th after some problems. They all come fighting through there. You see Brian Dickens down there on the inside in that 122. He's trying to make some sort of line happen. Right now, Grande's just kind of hanging out up there along that top edge. Bringing a slider line through 1 and 2, down that back, or I'm sorry, no, slider line through 3 and 4. On the top of 1 and 2. Yeah, he's going to run that little bit, that short slider there through turns 3 and 4. Keeping himself out front and up off Reynolds. Carew, though, he's starting to find something possibly there through the middle. He's working down there, working it behind Reynolds. And Bachman's there in 4th, so I mean, points are just too close for me to call it. I'm going to have to wait and see if somebody has the points coming up here quickly or not, in through the through somewhere whenever we get this race finished. Scott Riom, Barry Wallace, and Templeton involved in another one here at Cedar Lake. There you see Barry Wallace there through the slick stuff, getting a little bit kind of loose. There he goes down. Oh, he gets the tire, slides up in front of Scott Riom, ends up catching the 55. Oh, man, what a stack up there. Scott Riom's got himself up there to 3rd. Dean Reynolds 2nd. Joseph Grande there in 1st. Barney still got that yellow flag out. Everybody does what they can to get around here, get set up here. Possibly one more lap around. One more lap around. Single file restart. 10 laps to go here in your small block 358 modifieds here tonight. These drivers really putting on a show. 518 gets underway here. Pace car is trying to get off the racetrack there still as Joseph Grandi gets down there into turn number 1. 3 wide there, and Sam Bachman dives down there to the inside, getting underneath. Trevor Guru cannot quite get there, though, as Trevor Guru now there in the 3rd spot. Dean Reynolds there up there in the 2nd as they all battle it through here. It looks like Guru still trying to battle through the center there. There comes out 122 with Brian Dickens now to the inside of Bachman. They head here off of turn 4, down that front stretch, down into corner number 1 and 2. Everybody's still battling for position. Randall Dixon back there in about the 8th spot in that 011 machine here as they work off the corner. Everybody doing a great job here. They work off the corner. Dean Reynolds up there in 2nd. Whoa, look at that car hang out up there along the outside. Here comes Guru now, fighting down there along the slick stuff, trying to find some grip coming off the corner. Has to try to find out where he can put that power down as he goes down there to the inside. Now he's sliding up there, coming off the corner. He's there, got 2nd for the moment as they come down here. Dean Reynolds trying to hold him down there, coming here off of turn number 4. It's going to be Guru for 2nd as it stands right now. 5 laps to go. Grandi out there on top. But look out. Guru may have found something down there on the short stuff, down there on the inside of the racetrack here as the race progresses. He get down there, diving that car in down there against the line. Now Rodney kind of sees that. Bachman as well coming down through there. Tight racing up here in the top 5, top 6 cars. And a few of them are your points leaders. Here they come off of 2 down that backstretch, 3 laps to go. Coming down here in the corner number 3 and 4. Guru down there now trying to battle with Grandi. Grandi now really trying to battle without Dean Reynolds. He's got company there with Sam Bachman. As Bachman's there to his inside, working down that backstretch. Bachman now finding out that kind of line that Guru was running. Down here through, final lap, last time around. Who's it going to be? We're going to battling real hard there for 3rd place between Bachman and Reynolds. As Bachman comes down there through on that bottom side. Reynolds ends up way up high. It's going to be Reynolds for 3rd place to head down here in the corner number 1. Joseph Grandi as your winner. Trevor Guru there 2nd. Dean Reynolds there 3rd. And we're going to wait for those results here. That should be coming in shortly. Keep an eye out on where that might be. These drivers did a great job here in a 358 division. Feature results, we'll take a look at them here. Joseph Grandi is your winner here at Cedar Lake. Trevor Guru there 2nd. Dean Reynolds 3rd. Sam Bachman 4th. Brian Dickens 5th. Anthony Morano 6th. Randall Dixon 7th. Clay Christopherson there 8th. Glenn Sharp 9th. Jeff Barker 10th. Kurt Schatzer 11th. Brian Moore there 12th. John Dubai in 13th. Bob DeGood 14th. Harold Klump there 15th. Barry Wallace in 16th. Brandon Templeton 17th and 18th. That's going to be Scott Riom and Kelly Wheeler rounding out your field here tonight. Oh, back to these front finishers who put on quite the show for us tonight. Starting with Dean Reynolds. Good evening, Dean. How's it going?
What's going on, Adam? How you doing, man?
I'm doing well. Had to really drive the wheels off of it tonight, didn't you?
Yeah, Joseph, it was going to be a battle, I think, of who got the lead on that start, and then the track kind of usually gets one lane dominant at the end. There'll be a top 1-2 slider 3-4. So if you can get out front, sometimes you can just hang on. But then right there at the end, you saw Trevor made that bottom work, and then Sam in 1 and 2 were making that bottom work, and then they got underneath me, and I couldn't do anything. I knew that slider line 3-4 wasn't going to do, so I decided, well, let's sail it up top in the fluff, and it actually worked, so I got to hang on to third. But Joseph's just a little bit better, and I think actually Trevor and Sam might have been the fastest guys.
They definitely were putting on a show, and just waiting on seeing how the championship rolls out. But great job there.
Yeah, no, it's and congratulations to those guys. Hopefully they still finish 1-2. I do have to apologize to Trevor. I wasn't paying attention under a yellow there, and and I gave him a 2X, and that unfortunately is a 5-point penalty. So if he loses the championship by 5 points, or he's within 5 points if he's second or something like that, I'm gonna feel bad, and I don't like especially when it's a teammate, but I don't want to affect anyone in their points championship, and and I'm a big proponent of yelling at other people for not paying attention, especially under yellow, and here I am going ahead and doing the damn thing myself. So hopefully I didn't interfere with that, and I would feel bad. But congratulations to those guys. Sam has really stepped up here in Coast to Coast with a lot of championships, and in the last couple seasons, he's just so improved, so fast, and I'm looking at his back deck almost all the time now. And Trevor joined; he's the latest one to join our team, and I think we're helping him in the modifieds. He was always very fast in the late models, and now we're helping him in the modifieds here, and he's got some speed, and he gives a little Canadian flavor to our team, being the only Canadian on it.
Well, but it's a great time whenever the team gets up there. I mean, but you did a great job. You got sponsor shout-outs. Anybody you want to thank for helping you get up to third place tonight?
I always thank the guys at Full Throttle Motorsports. We help each other out. I got a few more laps in sprint cars than some other guys. I try to help them out there, and they help us out in the modifieds. Like Sam is always so good in qualifying, and he helps us out with the qualifying. I mean, he can be selfish and just take his fast times and not tell us where to run, but he doesn't do that. He's a teammate, and he says, guys, go here, go there. And, he wants to see his guys up front. And then Anthony Morano and Clay were trying to teach us how to run the bottom and stuff like that. And I think that's why, Trevor came on over to the team. He was on Team Venom. But, we're kind of best friends with Team Venom. But, they're moving on with their lives, and they're getting so busy now that they can't race. And we miss them. We miss Isaac Salas and Brian Lawson and Butchie Baker. We miss all those guys. And hopefully they can come back here in the fall and come back and join us and have some fun with us. But, Trevor's getting the pointers, and, Adam, all these guys in the team are faster than me, so I got to take advantage when I get these up front starts and such to see if I can get a podium. I don't get as many podiums as I used to, but that's okay. It's my job to get faster and learn, but I'm happy to get this, and congratulations to Joseph for the win, and Trevor's second. But yeah, Full Throttle Motorsports, got to thank them. Got to thank you, Flieger Farm Management. First of all, thank you for the sponsorship in Super Dirt Modified Week as well, Adam. That was awesome, and we got John Tobias in the event, and he was very appreciative of your sponsorship and giving him your entry, and that was really cool. So thank you there, and we got to thank Top Notch Trucking, which is Isaac Salas' grandfather, for the sponsorship, because if it wasn't for him, we wouldn't be here, you wouldn't be telecasting, and then thanks to Jeff Barker and Jack Kitt, they're really working hard to get Coast to Coast to the next level, and I'm going to show them my support again by next season. I'm going to give them a little bit of a sponsorship as well, and we'll keep it going. So let's see what we can do in the big blocks, Adam.
Alrighty, well, sounds good. When the hell did that pop off? I'm sitting here
You tried to find your buttons. You were great. I love your telecast. Why did it do that? Where's that?
No,
What's that?
all of a sudden I got this bright red light blaring at me, and I happen to look, and I'm missing a button off my keyboard.
Hey, and by the way, thank you for doing this slow-mo when we're getting interviewed, because, I always felt that if you're on the podium, you earned it, and then do a nice slow-mo close-up of the guys' cars, because we all have sponsors on our cars, and there's people and family watching, so thank you for making that switch. That was really cool.
Alrighty, well, congrats there, and we'll see how you handle the rest of the night.
All right, Adam, maybe we'll talk to you again.
Alrighty. All right, that was Dean Reynolds. Now we'll get with Joseph Grundy. Or no, we'll get with Trevor Guru. I'm sorry. Second place finish. Trevor Guru, how's it going?
Good, you?
Oh, it's going well. Has anybody got any updates on the points for the 358s?
Yeah, Sam Bachman would have won it. He won it.
Sam Bachman got the win?
Yeah, he won the championship.
Okay, well, congrats to Sam, and congrats to you. I mean, you really gave him a hard-fought fight here tonight.
Yeah, I mean, had a pretty fast car. I mean, set myself good up in the heat race, won it, and started outside pole, and ended up getting passed by a couple of guys. And then the middle bottom kind of came in as the track got slick, and made it work on Dean, and was going for Joe there, and he just saw it coming and shut the door. I mean, good for him. That's just racing at Cedar Lake. I mean, you got to do what you got to do here when there's there's, I don't know, X amount, 5, 6, 7 laps left, and there's someone on your inside, so I can't say I blame the guy. Yeah, and congrats to Joe, obviously, great run. And obviously, congrats to my teammate, Sam. Me and him came into tonight with, I think, about a 10-point gap between
No, you were only about 4 points separated.
What's that?
You were only 4 points separated coming into tonight.
Okay, yeah, so 4 points, yeah. Yeah, and he got it, so, I mean, good for him. I mean, great season for him. He deserves it, absolutely. So, yeah, I mean, overall, it was some good racing all season, and looking forward to the next.
It's definitely close there. I mean, the points race definitely was coming down to where you guys finished tonight.
Yeah, for sure. And this is one of those seasons where, this is like my ideal season where, like, I'm not, like, one person isn't running away with the point lead. It's a tight battle all season long, and it's all coming down to one night, and both people that, or say there's 2-3 people, in this case, say it's me and Sam, we're both in the race, and no one gets, wrecked or wrecks out or anything like that, and it just comes down to, who had the better run, and that's my ideal type of championship night and season right there. Just fair and square, no BS, and yeah, that's perfect for me. And obviously, it's a teammate at FTM who won it, so like I said, super proud of him, super happy for him. He definitely deserved it, and that's his second one this season. So he's very dominant.
Alrighty, well, congrats there for you for getting second place. Sponsors, shout-outs, anyone you want to thank for getting podium tonight?
Yeah, just all the guys at FTM, of course. Great season for the boys. It's not over yet. We got 2 more to close out here. And JRB Designs, Dean Reynolds with the Super Dirt Car Series, Castleberry Flagstone, Expert Installation, everyone on this ride. Hope to have all the same going into next season. But yeah, everyone on my rides here, for sticking around all season long, I appreciate it. And yeah, you for putting on this broadcast. It was a pretty good season, so thank you.
Oh, our pleasure. Can't wait to keep seeing what Thursday nights bring us coming future.
Yes, sir. Me too. I'm looking forward to it.
Alrighty, well, congrats for second place, and good luck the rest of the night if we see you.
Thank you.
All right, now we're going to get with our, let me get this down and out of the way. Get with Joseph Grundy, our victory winner here. Good evening, Joseph. How's it going? Must feel pretty good holding off FTM there behind you.
Yeah, not too bad. Starting on the pole helps. I knew the bottom would probably come in towards the end there, and I saw Trevor making up some ground, so I hopped down there to block him and finished the race.
He definitely was making up ground, but you still held your ground out there in front and tried to make it as much follow the leader as you could.
Yeah, usually the tracks flick off like that. That's what happens. We practice on them so long that I get pretty slicked out, which I don't mind. I like a nice slick track.
Well, I mean, you look great out there. Everything seemed to go off really well tonight. I mean, starting there in your heat race, and I think Trevor was pretty much chasing you all night long.
Yeah, one of us usually chasing each other. It's either him or me following each other. So go back and forth a little bit.
Well, you did a great job getting that 518 machine out there in the victory lane, and you got sponsors, shout-outs, anybody you want to thank for helping you get the podium finish here tonight and getting victory lane on the last race of the season.
Yeah, I'd like to thank all the guys over at Inferno Motorsports, Pilot Recovery, West End Towing and Repair, Pinker Homes, Mad Rabbit, D&T Designs, AJ Custom Creations, Highline Cinematography, our girlfriend Olivia, all the guys at Coast to Coast, you man for doing the broadcast.
All righty, well, congrats, and we look forward to seeing if you come out for anything else tonight.
Nope, I'll be done tonight.
You're probably done? One and done?
Yep, well, that's it.
All righty, well, congrats on getting the victory, and that's the way you kind of want to end the season too, right?
Yep, thanks, man. Have a good night.
You too. That was Joseph Grandi, our feature winner here in the 358 division. Now we'll go and be getting to our big blocks, so don't go anywhere. We'll be right back here shortly with that.
It's time for another edition of RSN Trackside, powered by Bob Johnson Auto Group on Rock Sports Network. Kiss on the champion. Trying to be a bit of a hiatus, so let's get. Tonight we talked about it.
These dollars had come together to support us, and we realized no, we didn't want to use them for us. We wanted to use them to help others.
The foundation has done so much for so many people. It helps any family that has somebody, whether it be a crew member or one of the drivers, that get hurt. We can help them to get through the situation.
I was injured in a non-wing sprint car accident that broke my neck and left me with a spinal cord injury. I was in the hospital 8 months, and that got really, really expensive, so having that extra help to help push me and my family forward was a big deal.
I was involved in a pretty gnarly sprint car crash. Found out my brain was swelling and bleeding. Pelvic bone was broken. I had 2 cracked vertebrae on my back, and I was in the ICU a little over a week. The Steve King Foundation reached out to my parents. We received a donation from them. Immediately, they started me on what's called neurofeedback, and insurance did not cover the neurofeedback appointments. So we received another donation from the Steve King Foundation. It really helped a lot, and I just want to say thank you. Thank you from the bottom of my heart to the Steve King Foundation for everything that they have done for me. This last Sunday, I got to turn laps in my modified here. That was my first laps back in a race car since the accident, and I truly believe that if it wasn't for the Steve King Foundation, I wouldn't be able to do that or be where I'm at today.
Yes, Steve's death is the reason the foundation exists, but it's Steve's life, and it's the lives of racers everywhere, is the reason we're able to do the work we do.
All right, we are back here from the Speedway as we get set to rock and roll here tonight. Hopefully everybody's ready for some great racing action. As we get ready for the big blocks. Give me a moment to get the big block points here up on screen. Yeah, there we go, the big blocks. Anthony Morano out front with 661 points. Mike Brewer, their second. Trevor Giroux, their third. Jeff Barker, their fourth. Sam Bachman, their fifth. Can't wait to see what we get up with here as this race continues tonight. Everything looking great, looking good. As your point standings coming into the night. Hopefully we have more great racing. That'll take place. They come here getting ready for qualifying. Templeton coming out. There comes John Dubai. Oh, a bunch of them coming out here. I see them come, their times down there on the bottom of your screen. Looking there at John Dubai. There at number 21. He's got the 3 on it tonight. Dixon there in second. That's the second quickest time right now. 13.503 for Templeton. Dixon there with a 13.551. Schatzer goes out there and he'll lay down a 13.488. Everybody else come rolling on through there. Morano down towards the bottom here in the big blocks. He's down there in a 13th position at a 13.681. Chapman coming out, Zach Chapman. There in the Scooby-Doo machine. Coming out here in the 12th place, 13.615. Looks like everybody has qualified. Got about 25 seconds left to go, but it does look like everybody has clocked in a time to get started here tonight. All right, here we go. Heat number 1 on the grid. Gonna be Trevor Garou out front, Jeff Barker second, Clay Christopherson third, Kurt Schatzer there in fourth, Randall Dixon fifth, Brian Moore sixth, Bob DeGood seventh, Anthony Morano rolls off in eighth. One more time around, and then we'll be going green flag racing here. We got how many laps for heat number 1? 6 laps to go here for heat number 1. Heat number 1 brought to you by Gambler Motorsports. Gambler Motorsports is an esports racing team that competes weekly across the iRacing platform. The team has drivers entered in dirt, sports, asphalt, and they even compete in endurance racing. Go and find them on Facebook and give them a follow. Coming here out of turn number 2 they go. Trevor Garou getting a great start this time as he's down there on the inside. Here comes Clay Christopherson there behind him. Jeff Barker, Randall Dixon there, big battle here down into corner number 1. 7 laps to go, so it must have been 8 laps the distance here for heat number 1 as they coming off the corner here into 3 and 4. Back around now down to the flag stand. Out of turn 4 they go. Trevor Garou out front, getting a little bit better start. Look at that hop coming out of that 75 machine here, coming around Cedar Lake. They come down there off the corner into corner number 3 and 4 now. 3 wide there, Randall Dixon there in the outside as he's got Kurt Schatzer in the middle. Kurt Schatzer trying to get the best he can there as he's sitting there in about 5th position now as Dixon gets around him on the outside. Garou still leading it here in heat number 1 as they come down through the front stretch in the corner number 1. Clay Christopherson there in second, Jeff Barker third, Randall Dixon there fourth. Everybody working together. Kurt Schatzer there in 5th. Anthony Morano now up there in the 6th. Brian Moore falls back in the 7th. And Bob DeGood rounding out your field there in that number 7 Kubota. Down here through turn number 3 and 4 goes Trevor Garou off of 4 back out here onto the front stretch. He's still leading it as it's now 2 to go. Down here they've got Clay Christopherson down there on the inside as he's trying to get something out of that big block. Down here through turns 1 and 2, down here around the bottom side. Quick laps around Cedar Lake here tonight as it's now white flag down here in the corner number 1 and 2. These lap times are only about 13.5 seconds long as they come down through off of turn 3 and 4 already. Trevor Garou coming off. He will get the win here off of heat number 1. Heat 1 results soon to come in. All right, here we go. Heat 1. Trevor Garou out front with Clay Christopherson there in second. Oh, thought that was already through. Jeff Barker there third. Randall Dixon fourth. Kurt Schatzer fifth. Anthony Morano sixth. Brian Moore there seventh. And Bob DeGood rounds out there in 8th. All right, here we go on to heat number 2. We got Harold Klump starting there in front. Dean Reynolds there second. Brandon Templeton in third. William Watson there fourth. Scott Rione fifth. Zach Chapman there sixth. Sam Bachman there in seventh. John Dubai rounds out there in 8th. So 18 drivers here in the big blocks tonight. Everybody doing a great job here. We got Dean Reynolds there on the front row. We got that number 2 of Harold Klump. I kind of like the look of that car. Looks pretty good. Just might have needed to do a little bit different spec map there on the logos, as it's hard to see the logos a little bit. But I love that color there on that machine. Looking good. Dean Reynolds there in second. Brandon Templeton there third. Always great seeing these drivers come out here. Always a great time here. Zach Chapman back there in 6th. Sam Bachman there in 7th. Coming out of turn number 4. Green flag in the air. Down they go. 8 laps to go here in heat number 2. On the bottom side, Dean Reynolds there in 2nd. Brandon Templeton there 3rd. William Watson there 4th. Zach Chapman up there in 5th. Scott Riome in 6th. as they all storm down here into corner number 1 once again. Hang on to it there, Watson. You don't want to lose it. There's your 3 wide beside Reynolds and Klump. Klump now getting to the outside of Templeton as they work there through off of turn number 2, 3, and 4. Down here into 1 and 2. Dean Reynolds there in the middle. Working there off of the back. Down here through the back stretch. 3 wide. Everybody's all jumbled up. Hang on to it, Watson. You're getting a little sideways. Getting that FTM machine down there through the bottom of the racetrack, trying to get around his teammate there, Dean Reynolds. Up there on the top side, you got that 2 of Harold Klump still rolling about. And out front, you got Brandon Templeton as well. Rolling around there and way down there on the bottom side. Zach Chapman up. Oh, somebody went around. That might have been Dean Reynolds going around. No, that was Scott Riome going around down there in turns 3 and 4. 2 laps to go here in heat number 2. Brandon Templeton, William Watson, Harold Klump there in 3rd, Zach Chapman 4th. Everybody rolls off the corner here. Great job, Zach Chapman there 4th. White flag is out. Brandon Templeton goes through 1 and 2 for the final time. Here in heat number 2, down that back stretch, Watson there in 2nd, Harold Klump 3rd, Zach Chapman 4th, Sam Bachman 5th. As they all keep on rolling down through here. Great job here tonight. As these drivers do everything they can in their power. Harold Klump there in 3rd. Man, oh man, what a night of racing it's been. So, heat 2 results come in. It's Brandon Templeton as your winner. William Watson 2nd. Harold Klump there 3rd. Zach Chapman 4th. Sam Bachman 5th. John Dubai there 6th. Dean Reynolds in 7th. Scott Riome in 8th. All right, we'll be back here after these messages for the feature event of the Big Blocks.
These dollars had come together to support us, and we realized no, we didn't want to use them for us. We wanted to use them to help others.
The foundation has done so much for so many people. It helps any family that has somebody, whether it be a crew member or one of the drivers, that get hurt. We can help them to get through the situation.
I was injured in a non-wing sprint car accident that broke my neck and left me with a spinal cord injury. I was in the hospital 8 months, and that got really expensive, so having that extra help to help push me and my family forward was a big deal.
I was involved in a pretty gnarly sprint car crash. Found out my brain was swelling and bleeding. Pelvic bone was broken. I had 2 cracked vertebrae on my back, and I was in the ICU a little over a week. The Steve King Foundation reached out to my parents. We received a donation from them. Immediately, they started me on what's called neurofeedback, and insurance did not cover the neurofeedback appointments. So we received another donation from the Steve King Foundation. It really helped a lot, and I just want to say thank you. Thank you from the bottom of my heart to the Steve King Foundation for everything that they have done for me. This last Sunday, I got to turn laps in my modified here. That was my first laps back in a race car since the accident, and I I truly believe that if it wasn't for the Steve King Foundation, I wouldn't be able to do that or be where I'm at today.
Yes, Steve's death is the reason the foundation exists, but it's Steve's life and it's the lives of racers everywhere is the reason we're able to do the work we do.
Good evening there. I need to see if I can get Zach up here to take over the show early tonight. Oh, Zach, I don't know if you can hear me. I didn't quite get the grid up here like we wanted to. I got an emergency going on behind the scenes here. As we've got everything rolling here. Everybody's there, checking up there in turn number 2. Yeah! I know, I'm trying! So, seeing if I can get a hold of him here. No, I'm broadcasting. I'm trying to get somebody into the booth. All right, guys, stay tuned. They're going to try to handle the thing over. We'll get... All right, yeah, we got flooding going on here. I need to go ahead and get this shut down. Guys, continue to watch Coast to Coast Racing Network. They will be back online here shortly, hopefully, fingers crossed. Sorry I have to bail, but I got more important things I got to try to handle here. Thank you so much for watching. Continue to stay tuned to Coast Racing.
Outpouring of love was amazing. These dollars had come together to support us, and we realized, no, We didn't want to use them for us. We wanted to use them to help others.
The foundation has done so much for so many people. It helps any family that has somebody, whether it be a crew member or one of the drivers, that get hurt. We can help them to get through the situation.
I was injured in a non-wing sprint car accident that broke my neck and left me with a spinal cord injury. I was in the hospital 8 months, and that got really, really expensive. So having that extra help to help push me and my family forward was a big deal.
I was involved in a pretty gnarly sprint car crash. Found out my brain was swelling and bleeding. Pelvic bone was broken. I had 2 cracked vertebrae on my back, and I was in the ICU a little over a week. The Steve King Foundation reached out to my parents. We received a donation from them. Immediately, they started me on what's called neurofeedback, and insurance did not cover the neurofeedback appointments. So we received another donation from the Steve King Foundation. It really helped a lot, and I just want to say thank you. Thank you from the bottom of my heart to the Steve King Foundation for everything that they have done for me. This last Sunday, I got to turn laps in my modified here. That was my first laps back in a race car since the accident, and I truly believe that if it wasn't for the Steve King Foundation, I wouldn't be able to do that or be where I'm at today.
Yes, Steve's death is the reason the foundation exists, but it's Steve's life, and it's the lives of racers everywhere, is the reason we're able to do the work we do.
We are back live on the Coast to Coast Racing Network. Our apologies, but broadcaster Adam Flieger kind of had an emergency there. Hopefully everything's all good with him, but he had to rush off during that broadcast, so it wasn't a problem with your internet or anything. That was us, but everything should be okay. Not a super big emergency, but definitely needed to tend to it. So we're here ready to play. Pro late models, the Ant-Man Anthony Morano. Well, as far as I know, if you're holding a gun to my head, man, we're giving this championship to the Ant-Man. He is the dog. He came in tonight with, I believe, an 84-point lead, something like that. And, of course, that doesn't factor in the drop leads. But, man, it's not going to be, I don't think that's attainable here. We haven't been getting a ton of cars here, so if, you know, Anthony just gets a mediocre finish here, it's going to match up. And the Ant-Man, I think, well, I was going to say he's looking for a little bit better than mediocre, but there he gets into the inside wall a little bit. Going to wreck that thing. Going to have to get the backup car out. Let's watch the 75 here, Trevor Giroux, roll around. Actually, let's go on board here with Trevor. Couldn't tell what happened to the 075. If you were watching that last race, you saw I was in that puppy. I didn't do too well, so one of the later cautions, I figured I'd pull off the racetrack and get together with Adam here, set up lining this thing up, and saw he was gone. But Trevor, he disconnected early on. I believe was running towards the front. Some contact sent that 075 to the rear. And not being in points contention, might as well just come over here, play a little bit. That's what he was doing. He was the first one in the session. Oh, he goes across the nose there of his teammate in the 32. Now we got their pops here. Dean Reynolds, he's going to pull off the racetrack. Got to meet Dino on Tuesday at the Big Diamond Speedway. That was awesome. Loved going up there, man. And I'll tell you, I'm not afraid to say it. There's no shot. I will always be a sprint car guy, just being where I live. But listening to these motors, definitely something special about it. Well, glad Dino said, too, everyone walked away from the big wreck last night at Sealands Grove. Kind of glad I was going to go. Kind of glad I didn't. I don't like seeing stuff like that, just in case, I'd ever hit the lottery and be able to buy a race car again. Don't need those kind of things creeping up on you. Watch Anthony Morano reeling his teammate there in the 51. Let's see what Clay Christopherson sees off the back of this Full Throttle Motorsports 51. He's going to have a mirror, or his left-hand side as he enters 3. You see Anthony taking a little peek. Just a little peek there coming out of 4. Anthony going to work this bottom here tonight, I'd imagine. So good at running the bottom. And Cedar Lake, one of those places where it's really difficult to do so. So you got to keep an eye on him. Going to be one of the ones willing to do it. The 23 of William Watson, he was quick at the end of the big block race, running the bottom as well. So keep an eye out on that 88, or that 23, excuse me. I'm used to him being in the 88. I'll probably get a kick out of that. Putt looking back downstairs under his teammate. They're going to do a little swap here. Anthony going to look back going into 1. Not enough momentum to come up. He's just going to shut her down, keep it on the bottom. What in the infield is Clay Christopherson. Keeps putting in laps here, and not too sure. I can't remember. I believe 8:30 is the advance time. So they should be getting ready to go here any minute. No super rush. They may be waiting for a person or two, but we're going to see this checkered flag wave on warm-ups here at any moment. And there goes the checkered flag. So we're going to get ready to roll into qualifying here. Only 8 drivers this evening, so it should be a good, quick, clean show. We'll see what we got for you here. Lined up, coming up. See who pulls out on the racetrack first. My bet, probably going to be William Watson or Dino. No, it's going to be neither of those. Dino's second, looking like. But it's going to be the 075, Trevor Giroux. He's been chomping at the bit, waiting to go. I told you, pulled off the track early. Well, let's see, you're going to take the green flag lap 1. We're going to roll that bottom, come up close to the outside here down the backstretch, go right to the bottom through 3 and 4. And that opening lap is going to be purple. That'll put him at the top of the charts. Can he stay there with a 12.79? Anthony Morano coming close with a 12.82. But Trevor, purple sector 2, can improve the overall time. Gonna stay at the top of the charts for now. Dino comes around quicker through 2. Gonna stay P3 as his teammate Putt. Clay Christopherson comes across the line. He stays 4th. Sam Bachman coming across here, lap number 1. What's it gonna be? Sam Bachman takes over 4th from his teammate in the 051. Slower through sector 1. Doesn't look much better here through 2. Gonna keep his time. Sam Bachman stays P4 as Blackjack comes to a stop. He qualified P6. William Watson, the only driver to not put a time in here this evening. So not too sure if he's maybe going for a little challenge here, wants to start in the back, or maybe he's just running behind a little bit here. Sam's still out here putting some laps in. Let's watch the 007 testing around with the high side a little bit. Using all of it coming out of 4 there as we run out of time, so it's going to stop his play date here as we get ready to take a look at the starting grid here. Heat race number 1 should be one heat race. It is. All 8 drivers set to take the grid. Let's run it down. Row 4 to the outside, the 23 of William Watson. To the inside, the 83 of the Spider Monkey, Brandon Dittmer. Row 3 to the outside, Blackjack. In the 21, John DeBias. To the inside, the 051 of Clay Christopherson. Row 2 to the high side, the 075 of the Philly Flyer, Trevor Giroux. To the inside, the 32 of the Magic Ant-Man, Anthony Morano. Row 1 for your one and only heat race here for your Coast to Coast Pro late models. To the outside, the 79 of Dean Reynolds. And starting on the pole, the 007 of Sam Bachman. Like I say, one and only heat race here, so this should be a quick one. Just got 8 laps here and then a 25 lap, or maybe 30 laps. Maybe 30 laps. I want to say 30. We'll go with 30 lap feature here. No beam mains necessary. Brandon Dittmer starting on the inside of row 4. What can this 83 do here, lap number 1? I like to mess around, do things different here. Let's see the green flag from, we'll just test this out. It's only a heat race. Let's watch lap number 1 here from Brandon's hood. He's shotgun on the field as the green flag's high.
Green flag, green flag.
Fly. Heat race number 1 is underway. See there, Anthony Morano slides up, opens up that bottom. We're 3 wide, or that was Trevor, excuse me, opened up the bottom. Anthony Morano then slides it in, and no, that was actually Sam Bachman. Goes from 4th to 1st there, the 007. With a rough opening lap here is FTM top 5, make it 6. As Clay Christopherson slides on by William Watson slides on by Blackjack here. Anthony Morano, your point leader, getting no help from friends here. Teammates rubbing, making contact. Anthony Morano holds on to 3rd. But it's allowed Dean Reynolds and Trevor Giroux to run away with this thing, as there's only 2 guys dancing for the lead. 4 laps to go, this time by Trevor Giroux. So close. Can he get to the outside here? As he's got that Super Dirt Car Series 75 rolling. He can't get by that 79, shuts the door. Dino leads the way, 3 to play here at the Cedar Lake Speedway. As we roll down the backstretch, Dino goes low. Trevor tries to enter in a little higher cut underneath in the center. Can't find the grip, 2 laps to go. Clay Christopherson holding on to 4th place for now. William Watson behind him. Samuel Bachman blinking a little bit. All this while the white flag's in the air. 1 lap to go. Can Dino hold on? Dino drives it into 3 and 4. Going to try to keep it low. He slides up, takes the checkered flag. Dean Reynolds going to start the pole for tonight's Pro Late Model feature. Trevor Giroux 2nd, Anthony Morano 3rd, Putt 4th, William Watson 5th, Sammy B 6th, John DeBias 7th, and Brandon Dittmer rounds out the field. We're going to step away there, quick break, and we'll be right back with tonight's Pro Late Model feature here on the Coast to Coast Network. Stick around. We are back live on the Coast to Coast Racing Network here. I'd imagine around 30 seconds or so here still left in warm up. So we go trackside here. We'll crank it up a little bit. As checkered flag waves, we're going to get ready to go out here and look at our starting lineup. I may have to cheat over and look at your screen. I think mine is giving me a little bit of issues there, I just noticed. And well, of course it is. It actually disappeared. I thought I clicked reload overlay. I must have clicked exit. There we go. Let's take a look. Row 4 to the outside, the 83 of Brandon Dittmer to the inside, the 21 of Blackjack, John Tobias. Row 3 to the outside, the 007 of Sam Bachman to the inside, the 23 of William Watson. Row 2 to the outside, the 051 of Putt Putt Clay Christopherson to the inside, the 32 of the Ant-Man, Anthony Morano. Row 1 for your Shaggy TV Pro Late Model Feature Season Finale to the high side, the 075 of the Philly Flyer, Trevor Giroux, and starting on the pole, the 79 of Dino, Dean Reynolds. We got all 8. They were waiting. Not too sure. That was a long grid time. They were all sitting there too. Not too sure. Our racing there just wants to make the boys think a little bit. Because right now, 8 drivers in the race. Top 6 are teammates. So they need to play nice with each other. Or it is going to be a long off season here with the Full Throttle Motorsports boys as Dino comes around down the front stretch for the final time behind the Steve King Foundation pace truck. Watch that thing pull off after we drive. No, he won't. He'll watch it speed off. That's right. This is the track where the police truck hits the turbos. Pulls off there coming out of 1 as Dino rolls through 3 and 4 for the final time. The green flag's high. It's ready to fly. 30 laps to play in the clay at Cedar Lake Speedway. Your Pro Late Model Feature is underway. Oh, Dino goes down there, clips those tires a little bit, but maybe helps rotate that 79. Able to hold on for now as Trevor Giroux swing into the high side, trying to gain momentum. Anthony Morano looks on the bottom of the third. Anthony trying to get under that 51 as Trevor Giroux doing a little diamond line through 1 and 2. Cuts under the 79, side by side, coming out of 4. Dino's got it at the line here as we're under lap 3. Sammy got one of the best views in the house here is watching 5 of his teammates race under a blanket. Dino holding them off for now, but for how long? Trevor inches ahead through 1 and 2. But nothing he can do. Too much momentum on that top shelf for the 79. As he swings it wide, he leads lap 5. Excuse me, lap number 4. On to lap 5 here is Dino just rolling smooth here. William Watson trying to creep up into that final podium spot. William Watson started fifth up to 4th, but Anthony Morano looking to get back one of those spots. He lost. He's lost 2 so far. Started 3rd, back to 5th. As the Ant-Man swinging downstairs, trying to find some grip. Can't do it. Clay Christopherson, meanwhile, tries to battle for 3rd. For 2nd. Dean Reynolds leading the field off at 2, but Trevor is right there, man. One mistake from the 79 of Dean Reynolds, and he could lose it all. He knows that. He feels the pressure. Maybe has a little bit of a hiccup there, a little slip up in the center. Trevor closes in, gives him a little love tap as William Watson back where it all started. Here he may lose one more. Samuel Bachman working on the inside, and Clay Christopherson once again trying to make a run for second. Clay Christopherson, putt doing just that, milking it along the bottom side of the racetrack here, but he left a little lane open. But William helped him out. He got into the back of Anthony when he tried to shoot that gap, and now we're single file top 6. Is John Tobias back here by himself? Brandon Dittmer on the inside. He's in the infield. He's calling it quits here at the Cedar Lake Speedway. And inching closer to that halfway point as we come across the starter stand. This time, 17 laps to go. Anthony Morano trying to look under that 51. Trying to get back where he started here. Didn't have the best start. Lost 2 spots. Has got one of them back. Can he get some more here? Not going to be easy. It seems like right now, this racetrack pretty difficult to pass on right now. As you see, we're on board with Anthony Morano. Clay's car kind of tricked me. Anthony used to run those colors. Thought we were on the wrong car for a second, but you can see Trevor trying to work up to the outside, being that first guy to maybe, think about doing something different, but he doesn't want to lose P2. He likes where he's at. And if you get too risky, go too high there, especially through 3 and 4, that 51's going to knife it from you. And we're 13 laps to go, so Trevor, if he's going to do anything, going to have to do it here quick. We're running out of time as we are under halfway to go. William Watson trying to reel these top 4 back in. He was right there earlier. He was running in 4th, trying to make a pass for 3rd when he kind of got jumbled to the back here, and trying to pick up the pieces here ever since. His putt swinging on the bottom, leaves that lane open for his teammate, the 32, Anthony Morano. Thinking about threading the needle there, couldn't get the nose under the 75, but he gets P3 back from his teammate there in the 51. And Anthony Morano puts the nose down and goes to work here on the 75. Dean Reynolds, man, he just wants this checkered flag to come, but he's going to have to wait a little bit here as we cross the line. 8 laps to go. And, maybe watching his lead get a little bit bigger as you see Trevor maybe getting a little defensive, trying to play defense here from the 32. He drives it in a little deeper, but Dino gets it all back on the straightaway and then some. That's 79. No joke right now here in Cedar Lake. William Watson back to the outside here, trying to make a move for 4th. He gets around Clay, but not for long. Clay thinks about throwing a slide job, can't park it. Lets William Watson go in the battle on for P2. Anthony Morano can't get up and shut the door, but Dino, big smile on his face here as he's watching the battle behind, side by side. 4 laps to go as we come off of 4. Anthony gets the pass, but Trevor looking for a little crossover. The 75 on the bottom through 1 and 2. He's got the lane. Does he go up and shut the door here through 3? He does an Anthony Morano full head of steam side by side at the line. Give it to the 75. All this 3 laps to go. Dean Reynolds, your man out front. Can we make it home without a caution flag here? 2 sticks in the air, 2 to go. White flag set the wave this time off of 4, and Dino's just got to be smooth here. Doesn't have to be perfect. They're still battling side by side for second as we go down the backstretch for the final time. We enter 3. Dean Reynolds gonna take home the checkered flag here in the Pro Late Models, the end of the season. At the Cedar Lake Speedway, Anthony Morano up to P2, and Trevor Giroux rounds out the podium. William Watson fourth, Sam Bachman fifth, Clay Christopherson completes the FTM top 6. Blackjack coming home 7th, and Brandon Dittmer parked it early, coming home P8. Here is Dino. Puts it on that top step. Dean Reynolds. Gonna blow that motor. You listen to that thing? He is gonna blow that thing up, but hey, he doesn't need it again this season. No big deal. Dino gets it done here, and he is gonna celebrate in victory lane. See if we can't get a word here with our top 3 drivers. Third place, Trevor Giroux. He's normally up here pretty quick, but he's had a rough night. No, he is there. Okay. I didn't know if he'd be there already. But he is. We'll pull him on up. And Trevor, man, I'll tell you, I thought for a while you were the man going to find a way by Dino. But somehow, man, in the middle point of the race, just seems like got away from you a little bit. Anthony started to go to work on you, and you just couldn't go after Dean anymore. And, well, you end up falling back to P3. But still, man, 6 teammates in a row. That's a pretty damn good night.
Yeah, really good night for FTM. And Anthony gets the championship, and I think Sam won Mondays. And I think we swept Thursday. So yeah, great season overall, let alone a good night. But yeah, I think I think I absolutely dummied my tires running the top and just trying to get a run on Dean. He was kind of running middle there for a while, and had an opportunity to throw a slider on him a couple times. But it's just when you're running that middle here, and couldn't really find an opportunity to throw it deep enough. But yeah, props to Dean, man. It's cool to see him in victory lane. He ran his ass off, so props to him.
Yeah, man. You were right there on him. You made him work for it. Where you kind of just, obviously you guys are teammates, and dude, at Cedar Lake, it's already hard as hell to throw sliders.
I wouldn't say I was waiting for him to make a mistake. Kinda. He.
Well, you know what I mean. Putting the pressure on, and if he runs a clean race, it's his. You're not going to go up there and throw a dumb move and wipe him out. Is what I mean. Yeah, no, I don't.
Yeah, 100%.
I don't mean like we think Dean's going to mess up. In fact, he's a much better dirt racer than me now. But I just mean, you're kind of put in that position where if he doesn't make a mistake, well, I got to hope for second tonight.
Yeah, I was hoping he'd make one, but. He pushes a lot in these cars. He says it all the time. He just I don't know. Yeah, so I just kind of maybe hit the bumps or something. The car would push up and I can go underneath. But no, man, he ran a damn good race and held his own. So props to him. It's Cedar Lake's just one of those tracks, man. It's kind of doesn't really race worth a damn in these.
I'm glad I'm not the only one who feels like that.
Yeah, I don't know. I love this place, man. Same with the Lanier, but don't race worth a damn in these cars. I don't know what it is. It's in the 358s, this track was awesome, and I didn't finish the big blocks. I think I made 2 laps, so I can't comment on how that race went. But yeah, I don't know. It's I find I'm a lot better here when the track is just washed right off, just super slick, and it's just like who can hold the car straighter in the middle, and so yeah, either way, it's cool to have all these FTM boys up here in the top 6 and do all the winning we've done over the course of the season and taking home a few championships. It's pretty damn cool, man. So just obviously props to all those guys, Sam, Anthony on great seasons, and Dean for the win tonight. So yeah, looking forward to another one.
Yeah, man, me too. Congratulations on a good year, Trevor, and way to cap it off with the podium, man. Who you want to thank, brother?
Yeah, well, I was hoping to get a dang win to close out the season, but maybe next season. But yeah, just thank all the boys at FTM, man. It's first season with C2C here with the boys, and lots and lots more to come. So shout out all those guys. I mean, dominant season from a few of our guys. It's pretty cool to witness this stuff and be a part of it and learn. And obviously shout out Dean Reynolds with the Super Dirt Car Series and the win tonight. Castleberry Flagstone Expert Installation. Jeremy Designs. You Shaggy for freaking amazing broadcasters all season, man. I hope you're back next season. It's a pleasure watching these and talking to you. So yeah, thank you, and thanks everyone at C2C for another great season. Looking forward to next season already.
Well, hey, random question before you get the hell out of here. You doing any of the Nürburgring stuff this weekend? You doing any road racing?
I was thinking about it. I might dabble in it a little bit. I haven't tried any of that stuff out in a while, so
rain
yeah,
this
we'll
year,
see.
dude. I'm nervous. It's gonna rain.
Yeah, I don't know. I might be a liability out there, but we'll see what happens. I'm thinking about it.
Well, hey, man, have fun. I'm going to go out there and destroy a car or two. We'll see what happens, too. But good year, man, and can't wait to talk to you again, brother.
Yes, sir. Thank you. Appreciate it.
Trevor Giroux bringing home P3. And now we'll do it a little different here. We'll bring up the winner, Dino, just because, the Ant-Man.
He's the champion.
Yeah,
He's the champion.
Bringing home the trophy, dude. But tonight, man, you were the man. I'll tell you, I don't know what it felt like in the race car. But lap 1, man, you flirted as low as you could go. Maybe those tires helped you rotate a little bit, but I thought you were in trouble, man. And, boy, you hooked up, and you just never looked back.
Well, I was in Discord and talking to the guys, and I said, I go, God, I didn't think this through. I thought I should have finished second in the heat because, these cars, you don't know if they're going to turn when you go in the corner. You kind of pray to hope that they turn. So I went down low and I slung it as hard as I could and it semi-rotated, but then I'm like, oh fuck, sorry, Jackie. Oh shit, how's that better? There's
fine
the
on my channel.
But it does pick up the left front on these cars, when you get in the corners. So I said, I should be able to carry them across the tires. I didn't feel like I hit any tires. So, and then I think for the first 25 laps, I was holding up the train. But, the guys were saying, no, you're not making a mistake. You're fast. Just stay there. And then all of a sudden I changed. I went middle. I actually pushed to 1 and 2 with like 4 to go. But my car felt good. And I said, wow, they're still gripping middle. And then I noticed I actually pulled away a little bit at the end there. So that made me feel good that I actually gapped a little bit. It wasn't much, but, it makes it feel just a little bit better that instead of holding them off, which actually I probably did, but at least the last 5 laps, I kind of thought I had the better car. So, but yeah, what a night. I mean, third in 358s. I started 14th in big blocks, got third there. And then to win the Pro Late models, that for this old guy doesn't come often. So sorry to be a little snooty, but I'm going to cherish this night. It's been a fun night.
No, I don't blame you, man. And, I don't think you're giving yourself as much credit. I mean, if you listen to what Trevor and I just said, I pretty much almost said what you said word for word, but not with 5 to go, man. It was that second half of the race. I mean, it seemed like the first half Trevor kept trying to get to the outside. And once you kind of settled that thing down and, like you said, found the middle of the racetrack, man, I mean, there was no way they were going to get around the 79 tonight unless you made a mistake. You were quick. Did anything from the small blocks or big blocks kind of help you? Did anything translate at all?
And I mean, I've been disheartened at the Pro Late models. They were one of my favorite cars to race a couple seasons ago, but now that they got these setups in where you don't know if you're going to turn, and it stinks because you can't really race and try to pass cars because you're more or less hoping not to get into a car by pushing. So I'm disheartened, but here I thank God with a time trial run that just hit the invert just right, and I could get out front and then not worry about that. I apologized to Trevor at the beginning of the race because I was slinging the car into turn 1 so hard, to make sure it turned, but that scrubbed speed. And he said, yeah, I had to let off a couple times, but he goes, do what you need to do, but then as the race went on, I got comfortable and everything else. But, I just found a sweet spot finally in my steering. I mean, I said that to you, and I said it to the guys this last month or so. Yeah, I haven't really gotten any wins, but boy, I've gotten a lot of hard chargers. I got a lot of speed. I just need to figure out a little bit of how the time trial, where I can make the inversion. Now I'm making inversions, so I just got to fine tune it. But the big blocks, I'm starting outside pole in the first heat, and I screwed that up. I pushed going in the corner, and then I hit the tires, and I finished dead last. And I'm like, well, there goes a chance of winning here. But luckily, I got through some accidents to get up to third and get a podium there, and so it was just a good all-around night. And I got to show off. Megan's watching, so I got to show off and show off in front of Dad too, and try to get one of these nights. But these guys are tough, as you know, Shaggy. The finish behind Clay or Trevor or Anthony or Sam and
finish near him.
Yeah,
just to finish near him, Dean. I'll tell you, when I was out in that big block race with you guys the last time, I would have loved to been even near you guys.
And now we brought in Bart. Holy Jesus Christ! It's like, he finally found some time to run coast to coast, and we're like, me and Scotty joke around like, yeah, let's bring in another guy in that's faster than us. But that's the only way to learn. It's the only way to learn, and but when you do fortunate to have a podium or even get a win and stuff, it's cool. Trevor, got second in the 358s, and I actually gave him a 2X under yellow, and I felt like a freaking heel because that's a 5-point swing, and if he lost by 5 points or 4 points or less, I would never forgive myself. And luckily, he did lose by 9, so it made me save face and everything. But we said to Trevor, I was talking to him, I said, anytime you finish in the points second to Anthony Morano or Sam Bachman, I'll take it. Do you want to win a point championship? Absolutely, but you would take it. And that's how good they are. So a lot of fun. We're recruiting coast to coast. We are happy with the modified car count. Now we got to work on the late models a little bit and get some people in here, get some fresh blood. I like what Jeff and Jack are doing, and get the sprint cars doing. But I tell you, I like what they're doing on Wednesday night, Shaggy, and I know that's going to be a puppy for you too.
Yeah, man, that's going to be a lot of fun. And Dino, you had an amazing night of racing here. You cap off 2 podiums with a win at the end. So, man, 3 for 3 tonight. All you needed was a trip to Pennsylvania to meet me, man. And,
I got the hug, Shaggy. I mean, that was so cool. So glad to meet you. And, it's cool to meet everybody. I asked Harold Klump if he was going to come because he lives down there, and he said, unfortunately, he couldn't because I haven't met Harold yet and stuff. But, it was so good to finally meet you, and that was cool. And I hope you enjoyed yourself. Hope you got to see what I do behind the scenes with the big blocks and hang with my officials and see what we do. And I hope you enjoyed that.
Yeah, I loved, nobody knew, obviously, that I was there, just like kind of hanging out with you in the beginning. But, man, I loved hearing the jokes that, you're out there on the racetrack. You probably didn't even know, and I didn't tell you this in the message. But there were people, because where I was sitting in the pits there, 1 and 2, I was sitting amongst the crew members. Boy, they said they couldn't find you once it started to get cold, that you were hiding in the trailer with your jacket on. That was the joke going around in the pits.
No, actually, I am in the pits all the way until feature time. When the feature comes, I do go up top. But it was funny. I didn't expect it to get that cold, and all my clothes were in the infield where the big screen was, because I rode up on the truck that brought the big screen. So all my luggage and everything was in there, and I just said, I'm going to grim and bear it. And but then the feature time, I got up top, and it was pretty good in the tower, so we were all good.
Yeah, Matt Shepard and them, they got a sweatshirt out of me because of how cold it got. I didn't think it was going to get that cold either.
That's all right, man. So, but hey, supporting racers, it keeps them on the road. That's a major part.
No, most definitely. And Dino, it was an awesome experience, and man, it was awesome to watch you guys race tonight. Hell of a job. Congrats on the win, and most of all, man, FTM 1 through 6. That's a hell of a run tonight, man. Congrats.
No, it's awesome. We we take pride in finishing well, but again, we don't want to deter people from coming into the league. We'll race you clean, and you race us clean, and let's go have some fun. I mean, Brandon Templeton got his win, and Grandy got his win, and that's cool. We congratulations to them. I mean, they beat us, and that's good to see. It's friendly rivalry and stuff, and we want to hopefully have some more people come on in. I know I talked to I name from the past maybe. I talked to Ryan Padgett. I didn't realize his iRating's only 2,300. I go, dude, what the hell are you doing? Come on in. So he said he's going to join us next season too. So it's going to be a lot of fun.
Yeah, definitely looking forward to it, man. Hopefully we can get some new blood in here, get this thing boiling again. But Dino, before you get out of here, man, you got anybody you want to thank?
The FTM guys, you Shaggy and Shaggy TV, you sponsoring the late models too. So you sponsored and brought in the telecast so everyone could see. Hi, Megan at home or work or wherever. I don't even know where she is tonight. No, she went to Tully's to go get dinner and then back home. And then hi to my dad. I know he's watching. And congratulations to Anthony Morano on his championship. That's cool.
Yeah, this probably isn't going to be the last one for that guy either. But
No. We're all joking around. He's got that job now that he misses some of the nights and save some spots for us now. So, but it's good that he got a job and of course, he's got the epilepsy struggles and stuff. But he's working and earning some money down in Florida to so he doesn't have a lot of hardship in his family in the house and stuff. So that's cool. And jobs do come first. As you know, I got to miss a lot of nights at coast to coast because jobs come first.
yep, that's the way it goes. Fact of life. Maybe one day we won't have to anymore. But until then, I'll see you here on Racing. Dino, congratulations on a good run, man. Can't wait to talk to you again.
All right, brother. Good seeing you, and you take care. Wish you the best.
Dean Reynolds bringing home the win here, and now we made him wait long enough. You still awake down there, champ? How we feeling, brother?
I knew I'd be a while. I got Dino in there. He takes his time.
Well, you knew we met each other too, so we had to, BS about that a little bit. I mean, it's. I warned you guys. Me and Dino in the booth together. That's the worst combination. Well, for everyone else, the best for us. The best for us.
There's always worse things in life.
But man, it seemed like one of those things. I mean, obviously, you probably would have needed a caution to get to Dino, but man, you had a quick car. It just seemed like tonight that guy in front of you kind of had to fumble just a little bit to leave you a gap so you could kind of fit in there. Talk to us about the track, though.
Yeah, it was a pretty one lane. It was like, it was pretty aggressive on my pass there with Bart. Just left the room, but not a lot of room. Where, I was just trying to get to the front and just tough racing. Then I was waiting for Clay to try to go under Trevor, and when he finally did that, I was able to get around Clay because he had lost all his momentum trying to make the pass. And then it was just, took a lot of laps just to pass one car at a time. So, but Dino did a hell of a job. He found that middle line there and was able to just roll it. And he was real quick there, drove away from me and Trevor. And me and Trevor had a hell of a battle. That was a lot of fun.
Yeah, man. It seemed like it, but I ask you this all the time. I mean, does it make it more fun when it's your teammate, or is it a little more stressful trying to get the job done? Knowing that you got to kind of do it a little cleaner.
Yeah, we have a lot of fun. We rub doors here and there, and stuff happens. Like today in the matinee, last corner, last lap, I tagged Dino going into the 3 and got them all bent out of shape and sideways, and we were running first and second. I just went in the corner a little harder than he was and tagged him, and Barker ended up winning. So, it happens. It's we still have our fun, but it's still stressful when you're. I try to race everybody clean, but especially a teammate. So, trying to make sure you leave them room. And I was having some internet issues. I was blinking here and there, I could think. So, wasn't helping any situations by any means. Trying not to get into anybody. So. Just did what I had to do, and try to make sure you leave room, and especially coming out of the corners here, it gets so tight, especially on the backstretch. So, just real tight, and just trying to make it work.
Well, man, once again, like you have all season, you've worked your way towards the front, using the bottom side of the racetrack. Maybe didn't bring home the win tonight, but man, an FTM 1 through 6, and most importantly, that Pro Late Model Championship trophy, man. Hell of a run tonight. But like I said, man, the most important thing, hell of a season. Congratulations, Anthony. Who you want to thank?
Definitely a hell of a season. I think I got 6 out of the 12, or 11, so we'll take that for damn sure. But I thank my wife Sherry, my teammates over there at FTM, Dean at Super Cars, Fun Speed Shop, Hi Mom Lens, DJ Sims Shop, Vertex Graphics, Extra Installation, Castleberry Flagstone, Shaggy TV, Rocky Photography. Everyone that comes in and helps us out, and there's a lot of knowledge that gets passed around between the us boys over here, trying to make each other faster, and you can see how it pays off with how we run up front a lot. So, Shaggy, thank you for sponsoring this division. Some changes coming next year to make it a little more fun, I think, and I thank Barker and Bill Calder and Bob DeGood and Jack Hitt, Spangler for keeping up with the points and everything. Everybody that does everything they do behind the scenes here for this league. It's a lot of moving parts, and we're still working on it, trying to get as smooth as we can for next season, and then and really push for the fall when everyone's home and see how that all works out.
Well, hey, man, hell of a run. Congratulations on bringing home that championship. And I'll tell you the same thing I told Dino. I got a feeling you got a lot more of them coming, man. Congratulations on another good season.
Thanks a lot, Shaggy.
Anthony Morano brings home the trophy here to cap off your Coast to Coast Racing League Thursday Night Thunder here. And what a season. I mean, you heard him kind of touch on it, but we count 9 races after the drop weeks. He had 6 wins, 9 top 5s. So you don't get much closer to perfection than that. Hell of a season by the 32. He deserved this one. On behalf of everyone at the Coast to Coast Racing Network, we'd like to thank you for tuning in. We'll probably be taking most of the next week off. Maybe a couple fun runs here and there. But, that's our in-between week. But we'll be back, normal championship racing stuff, and I'd assume 2 weeks. So hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. Don't miss a show. I'm Zach Chapman with Shaggy TV saying so long. Have a good night.